Alright, so first look of the day. Playing through some normal, boring Grixis Shadow. Say boring because it's a pretty stock list. But I didn't have a lot of time to brew anything crazy last night. And I don't have an extremely long time today, so probably don't have time to brew anything new or make a lot of adjustments. So we're just going to do like a solid gameplay video. Try to show some of the lines and thought process behind decisions for Grixis Shadow, which is like one of the most popular archetypes at the moment. So for the most part, the list is 72 or 73% of the same. 72 to 73 of 75 the same across like everybody that's playing the list right now. You've got minor little decisions like 18, 19, or 20 lands, 3 or 4 Dragon's Rage Channeler, 3 or 4 Ledger Shredder, Fatal Push, and Lightning Bolt Split or not. Really, really minor decisions. But as long as like the core of the deck you're playing pretty consistently and pretty tight, you'll have good results with the deck. So let's just go ahead and jump in. I guess it's not Canister's list anymore. This one was not Canister's list, so. Been wrecking kids with Esper Dragons in Modern. Consecutive top 4 finishes from a field of 30. Nice. Congrats. What is it about Esper Dragons do you think people aren't prepared for? Just no good answers to Ojitai. Or maybe with Dragon's Scorn, you get to play like 8 functional counter spells. Or is it Dragon Scorn, Silumgar Scorn? Yeah, Silumgar Scorn. So just 8 functional counter spells if you want them. Alright. Eventually we'll find an opponent. Alright. Step 1 complete. And the die roll, good start. Reasonable hand. This basic swamp's a little awkward with our double expressive iteration, but no Ojitai, but revealing Unsettled Mariner to Silumgar's score. Ebon Death. That's the black dragon with flash. Yeah. 4 mana, 5/2, enters tapped, can cast it from the graveyard. If a creature not named Ebon Lich Draco or Ebon Death Draco Lich died this turn. Alright, so we cannot suspend the Rift Bolt, so I think I'm just going to go Swamp Thoughtseize. Plan on holding up this Unholy Heat. take Searing Blaze. It's the one that causes the most issue here. But yep. Free real estate. Unholy Heat this now so they don't get a free Skewer the Critics. Play Scammer, I call you Dogfish. Please no. Well, we might end up playing that. Drown is great. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Kroxa here. So let's go Tarn to the bottom, Kroxa to exile. When they board in Graveyard Hate, I board in 3 Monastery Mentor and send them to the Shadow Realm. I feel like they probably shouldn't be boarding in Graveyard Hate against just Ebon Death. So opponent's going all in on the damage to me plan. So I'm escaping Kroxa here. Just put him on a 1-turn clock. Because they can't draw 2 burn spells this turn without cracking Sunbaked Canyon. In which case they won't have the mana to cast 2 burn spells. So should be okay. Yep. Alright, so what we do here is we attack first. And if they discard a land card and take the damage, then I'll terminate the Goblin Guide. If they didn't discard a land card, probably still terminating the Goblin Guide, but this just means that it's like a clean win. So Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, EK Command, maybe a copy of Turok. Neither do I, but it's happened more than a handful of times. I mean, usually when I play against a white-based control deck, like, I assume they're the ones bringing in Grave Hate. And I definitely wouldn't want to bring it in just for Draco Lich, like I said. Yeah, it's a little slow and clunky. Like, post-board, my goal is pretty much, like, have an answer for Ensnaring Bridge, just in case. And then bring in counter spells, bring out a bunch of this stuff that's, like, lowering my life total. Thoughtseize is, like, the next best thing. Turok's also one I kind of like here. Mainly because it lets you just like play into Sanctifier on Vec and keep attacking. I want to just board out a removal spell. Yeah. Like, Sanctifier can be a pretty big headache, so being able to play into it and actually attack is very relevant. And then dodges like Path to Exile. Mishra's Bauble. Alright. I've got answers to dudes for days. Free real estate's also appreciated. Lava spike me in the face. Okay. So I know they have a lightning bolt. So I'm pretty tempted just to fire off this Thoughtseize. So I think I am. Lightning bolt and a Searing Blaze. Let's take the bolt. Play Ragavan off of our basic mountain. So if they want to path this, I just get my swamp. And I think I'm just going to take this. Do I want to just path my own Ragavan to make sure I can kick this Turok next turn? You know what? Let's do it. Takes away target for Searing Blaze, so they can't just get a free burn spell on me there. Fetch up before the Goblin Guide trigger resolves, because I want to guarantee that if I see something I want on top, that I get to draw into it. Searing Blaze gone. Nice. All right. A Shadow would be an excellent top deck. Yeah. All right, do you have a Boros Charm? Do in fact have a Boros Charm. All right. Well, at least we get to go to game 3 on the play. Chandler's a little bit better, especially now that they're like not pointing any burn spells at my creatures. I kind of want to take that into account. It'd be a lot different if they were, but yeah, this is reasonable. Just ditch the 3rd land. Steam Vents, play Channeler, next turn Swamp, have Fatal Push or Ledger Shredder. Or I could just pass and hold up Push. Probably doing that. Just pass, hold up, push. I can fetch up a tapped shock land if I need to. Alright, take one off this. Go. If they're just attacking for 1, I'll just take it. This is like, alright, Sanctifier. So let's go Shredder, play Ragavan. Works out pretty well. Now we're just looking for like iteration, Spell Pierce, Drown in the Lock. Anything like that would be fun. Back to the normal ways of the shadow, indeed. Indeed. Alright, so we need to find that Drown in the Lock or Spell Pierce, Fluster Storm, something like that pretty quickly. Alright, swinging with Ragavan. Inspiring Vantage, not the most thrilling of hits. You have another path. Nope. Okay. Just have the lethal burn. Or no, you got new cards in hand. You just have the Sanctifier attack. That's right. Alright. Oh, man. Should have left him more Thoughtseize as game 3. Especially being on the play. That was probably a punt. Usually I'm a pretty big proponent of leaving some hand disruption in games 2 and 3, but it only works if you follow your own advice, right? Opponent did not reveal any sort of a companion. Right. So let's take a Ragavan. We'll heat the second Ragavan. We've got Terminate for Murktide. And I think I'm just going to shuffle away this Channeler. So Unholy Heat, the Channeler. Polluted Delta is pretty good here because it lets me hold up Drown in the Lock for their expressive iteration. So we've got Iteration, Murktide, Unholy Heat, Unknown. 2 unknowns. Looks like they're not going to fire off this iteration. Alright, so let's get our swamp. Add Gigantha. Play land, say go. We hope we can catch this Murktide pretty quick. Looks like that's what this is. So yeah, we'll go for the end of turn Unholy Heat. I'm assuming they've got a counter spell, but gonna have to fight through it eventually anyway. Alright, so that's pretty decent. Terminate you, dash you while they've got Unholy Heat up. Unholy Heat unknown. So let's go for dash the Ragavan. Hope this eats the Unholy Heat, and then we got Shadow afterwards. Alright. I think they have an answer to the Gigantha as well. Do not. So we're just looking for iterations, drown in the locks, Shadow, Ledger Shredder, anything. Okay. I'll hold the Scalding Tarn in case we find a Ledger Shredder. I might want to connive that away. Alright. So if they top decked like both Ragavan and a counter, or Ragavan and Murktide, we'll take that L. So, finding the Shredder is very nice. They have a counterspell and like choose not to protect the Ragavan. It did. Fair enough. Then this is why we held on to the land. Get our point of damage in here. See if we can bin a Croxa. Alright. On to game 2. So K command's really good for opposing hearses. Got hearses of our own. Flusterstorm and Spell Pierce. Mystical Dispute are good here. Not as big a fan of Dress Down. The EE can be okay. Trim a couple Thoughtseizes, a couple... Actually getting like higher and higher on Ragavan in the matchup and lower on DRC. Especially with like opposing Ledger Shredders. Darcy just looks like terrible at having to attack and my favorite streamer's on early today when I'm working from home. There is a Jesus. Well, I usually have a Tuesday 4 p.m. Central Time work call that I've got to be on. So like Tuesdays I try to stream a little bit earlier. It's going to be rough if they have Ragavan, but that's not a Ragavan. So what's worst case scenario? They have like Spell Pierce into Hearse. So we're just gonna start taking things they can actually cast, right? But Spell Pierce into Hearse, that is not. Do find the red source for iteration though. It's kind of hard to pass up a third iteration. Like surely one of these will find me something relevant, right? Maybe. And I do want to make sure that this Bloodstained Mire is getting me a basic swamp. Huh. I'm just firing that off. I think I am. Charm gone. Exile both the U's. Go. Assume they fire off this expressive iteration. That's not an expressive iteration. push to hand, pierce to the bottom, tarn to exile. Do I want to get this Unholy Heat out of hand? I think I do. This doesn't look suspicious at all. All right. Still need some work. Counter spell. Archmage's Charm. Spell Pierce. Haha. So we can go push to hand. But I do want this Croxa. I guess I can go push to hand, Steam Vents to the bottom, Croxa to exile. And I can still play out the Ragavan and crew the hearse. Discard a Murktide. You two. Alright. Step one. Escape Croxa. Black. Red. Black. 2, 3. Keep a land. Get rid of an artifact and a sorcery is fine. So their last card is Ragavan. So yeah, if they want to play out a 3/3 Murktide, I'll take my chances with finding an answer to that. They do not. So on to match 3. Ugh. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this earlier time slot. I like my 2 o'clock slot a lot better. But I feel like I would rather stream earlier and just like get the hours in than not stream at all on Tuesdays. But honestly, it would probably be better to not stream on Tuesdays. All right. What do we got for match 3? Honestly, that was probably the smoothest match I've had against Murktide in a while. So that was a nice one to get under. What deck did we lose the first match to? Burn. It was a pretty rough one against Burn. Like game one we got with Kroxa. Game 2, we put ourselves in a position to only lose to Boros Charm, and they had Boros Charm. And then game 3, they had a turn 2 Sanctifier on Vec on the play. And that kind of messed our world up. Alright, Savai Triome. What does that mean for me? The top deck are Ragavan, so if they dash Ragavan, I'm probably just trading with it. I'm gonna wait on this Bauble. I could like Bauble to see what they're drawing into, but I think I would rather filter off this Polluted Delta if I can. So if they go to like dash Ragavan, I can Unholy Heat and then Bauble filter myself. But if they cast something like Liliana the Veil, then I'll Bauble them, see their next card. Kroxa. Kroxa. If they have Ragavan fetch land, they've got enough to give Kroxa back. I think I'm going to ditch the Drown. Kill you. Not too interested in that. Shadow, I am pretty interested in. So let's go Shadow to hand, push to the bottom, Bloodstained Mire to exile, pass the turn, see if they go fetch land Kroxa. So Mardu Stoneblade. So I'm giving up my answer to Kroxa to be able to just like go ham this turn. Let's get Blood Crypt, play Ledger Shredder, play a Shadow, deal all day. Hiya. So they can get back Croxa here. Which looks like what they're doing. Alright, so I can play my fetch, attack, force the chump, and add Croxa to my hand. Maybe we should have paid more attention to what shocks we actually had left. Little bluff. Yo, mic check 1 2. Is that my street name? My rapper name? Okay. Do I want to dash that? I don't think so. I think I'd rather just play the Giganta here. This should mean that I've got guaranteed lethal even if they play the Batter Skull here. They block the Shadow, gain 4, go to 7, take 7. Yeah. Alright. Mardu's Stoneblade. Mardu's Stoneblade. Do I want Hearst just for Croxa? That seems kind of narrow. Brad, what's up? That seems really narrow to have it just for Croxa, right? Dresstown's just kind of assuming that they're on more than just Stoneforge, like maybe Fury or Solitude or something. Do something like that. I kind of want to see more of their deck before I have too specific of a sideboard plan. Seems reasonable. I think I'm just going to say go. If they play turn 2 Stoneforge, I can like Fatal Push, untap, dash Ragavan. If they play a Croxa, then ditch something. Hearse is fine. I can't imagine they're on like Blood Moon or something, right? Also, do I want to just play the Ragavan? Well, on the bright side, I'm glad I didn't just play the Ragavan, because I don't really want them drawing into a seasoned Pyromancer. Also, Kevin, you got to get your Stoneforge boys to stop just like snap grabbing Batter Skull every chance they get. There's other options, I promise. It's like, especially against the removal heavy decks, I would absolutely. It is better than Snap Grabbing Cauldron. I'll give you that one. 100% give you that one. Like, I swear every time these Stoneforge players are in a removal mirror, they're just like, Cauldron. They can't beat Cauldron. You're right, I can't beat Cauldron. Never claimed to be able to beat Cauldron, but I can beat the hell out of a Stoneforge Mystic. No, Maturok. Alright, do get to iterate, I guess. Kroxa didn't look too good, so let's go Shredder to hand, Kroxa to the bottom, Bobble to exile. Since I've already played the iteration, I don't know if I want to play the Shredder right here. I don't think I do. I think I want to get like Steam Vents. Maybe just basic Swamp. There's no way they're playing Blood Moon, right? I say optimistically. I'm guessing they just have a hand of like prismatic endings. At least that's kind of the feel that I get. So if they're not answering Ragavan, then can't be that impressive of a hand. Sure. But I guess I know they've got Batter Skull, so Batter Skull, Inquisition, 3 unknowns. I'm assuming at least one of which is a what's it called? Not expressive iteration, prismatic ending. I think that's a relatively safe assumption. And they're not firing off. They didn't cast Batter Skull and they didn't cast the Inquisition. What does that tell me? Didn't cast Batterskull, didn't cast Inquisition. I mean, I know they knew about Terminate for Batterskull, but like... Still. Kai's had to have been their draw off of the... off the Sunbaked Canyon. Because they would have just Kai's my Ragavan after I cast it, surely. So we had to call on the Prismatic ending. You got it. Kill this into turn. And tap and dash my Ragavan. I do still have Giganta that I can add. Ah, yes, Arid Mesa. Big ol' hearse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. That's a rough one. Ditch Cauldra Batterskull. So I guess this turn we'll just go Shadow, add Giganta. So I really don't want to tap off of this Terminate with the hearse sitting around. After they ditch Batterskull Cauldra, I have no idea what's in their hand. Okay. What are you getting? Absolutely nothing. Oh no, they got sort of Fire and Ice. Could be a little problematic. Maybe a K command off the top here. Not quite a K command. So I've got like no good attack with the Shadow. I guess at least the Shadow's got protection from, or can't be hit through with the sword. Well, that is the correct one to strap up. So at least get value if I kill it. Alright, they're going to strap up the hearse now. I guess the bright side of this is I only have to block it once. And I guess they can crew it by tapping multiple things, but... K command off the top. Almost. I don't think they knew about this second Ragavan. Could be wrong. I think they missequenced here. I think what they should have done is gone to equip the sword to like the Stoneforge or something. And just take the hit if I offer it up. Because they can always just like re-equip to the elemental token and I can't attack through it. But if I have like a fatal push or something and go to interact with like the hearse now, then they just kind of like threw away this entire turn for nothing. So I think I would have liked to see them like equip up to something else first. Alright, so we did see unlicensed hearse. Maybe I want to keep the thought seizes in, like board out some number of heats. Actually, dress down gets better because I saw seasoned pyromancer. Let's do it like that. All right. I believe we're going to find a second land. Just really don't want to mulligan on the play, the Thoughtseize Mirror. Check out my beautiful one land hand. Land. Well, kind of knew we were going to get there. There's the land. Alright, well, if they have to fetch to kill the Ragavan, we've got Drown in the lock. Don't currently have white mana, so that's a good series of draws. Terminate. Yeah. Then we'll just cast out this other Ragavan. Save our mana. I'd say we have drawn out of this fairly well. Not perfectly. We're certainly not out of the woods, but... You know, they've got a Savai Triome. I know they've got Savai Triome and Bloodstained Mire, yeah. Okay. So let's see if our attack gets through. So this is like a Kaya's Guile. Do I want to fight over it? I could just take the free Kroxa discard. I think I like that. I think I like let this die, ditch the Kroxa, cast Expressive Iteration. And it's a little bit of like a Hail Mary, because if we don't hit the land, this is really bad. Like that. Oh, man. Punished. Got greedy and punished. But if they don't do anything too scary this turn, we do get to, like, untap with Drown. Alright. No tokens off, that's pretty nice. Then we are currently winning this race, so I'm just going to hold up Drown here. Lingering Souls. Sure. I've got the EE. We'll take the land. Yep. Stoneforge. I think I'm gonna drown the Stoneforge. I think that's a fine target. Stops him from getting a Fire and Ice. Just go ahead and flash back those souls. Be mana efficient. You know you want to. You put Lingering Souls in your deck for a reason. You want to flash them back. I want to just play the Turok. I'll just pass. I'll probably end up like heating this Spyro. Take 2. Another Stone Forge. I thought seizing. No. If I hit the land, I kick the Turok. If I don't hit the land, sell my graveyard, gain 4 life. Sure. So now I'm just Turok plus Thoughtseize. Or is there a reason I would rather Kroxa? No. All right. Prismatic ending off the top. That's gonna do it, I believe. Don't believe there's anything I can do now. And I guess I could find a K command off the top. They whiff, I find K command. K command. I don't think I have a second EE. Okay, command. Let's go. Oh, man. Oh, don't you have an answer to the Turok here? Oh, the elemental tokens. That's right. Ah, I forgot about the elemental tokens. Drew the K command and everything. Ah. Lingering Souls in 2022. I did not have Lingering Souls on my radar anywhere. Never doubt the Lingering Souls. I don't doubt the Lingering Souls against everything I enjoy playing in Magic. Like, Lingering Souls is god tier against every form of Shadow. Think we're gonna have TBR in Historic Arena Stream win? Good question. I don't really have a desire to play Historic, but if there's TBRs and Shadows and that goodness, then maybe. Like, my big problem with Historic is it's just a format that you can, like, never implement in paper. And if an account, or if a format can't be implemented in paper, it really loses its appeal to me. Because that just, like, takes away half the reason that I play Magic, is to go to paper events and travel and whatnot. It's getting worse with the arena exclusive cards. Yeah, that just, like, kills the vibe for me. Doesn't pass the vibe check. It's a Naya Triome. But it helps me to get my Shadow fix. But it's not, like, real Shadow. It's Diet Shadow. Alright, I'm for sure Croaksing this turn, so... Oh man, that's a terrifying sign when the 4-color pile deck or 5-color pile deck is ditching lands. So you know about the Omnath now. I'm gonna play out the Ragavan. Alright, so the hope is that this is just like Omnath pass. And I just get to go like Fatal Push, Omnath, Unholy Heat, the Ice Fang Quaddle. Fatal Push, Omnath, Holy Heat Quaddle. Now, if they don't kill... I was going to say, if they don't kill my Ragavan, I get to untap and Kroxa. So, Thoughtseize to hand, Drown to the bottom, Swamp to exile. All right. Fair enough. The 80 card deck with the consistency of the gods. Like, what if we just had double Omnath, double Solitude in our top 13? That'd be pretty sweet, right? So black, red, something, something, instant sorcery, one more. About to put another instant in the yard before too long, so. All right. Say hit me with your best shot, but please don't. Tarn's actually really good here because now I get to Thoughtseize, Kroxa, Drown. So let's start with Thoughtseize. Swing with the Kroxa. Drown the Solitude. Dogfish, not going too well. We're like 1-2 right now. We lost a Nailbiter against Burn, and we just lost against Mardu Stoneblade with Lingering Souls. But now we're whooping up on some elementals, so it's okay. Turok, great. Dress Down, great. Mystical Dispute, if they don't have Cavern, is great. Alpine Moon could name Cavern. Not the most exciting thing in the world. Spell Pierce is great for like Wrenn and 6 and Teferi. Stuff like that. Channeler's really bad against Endurance. I have a hard time throwing back a turn 2 Shadow hand, ever. Like, they could just turn 1 Veil of Summer me, and this entire plan is horrendous. But, if they don't... What? They've got turn 1 Veil of Summer in their 80 card deck? Oh, never mind, they don't. Nice. Prismatic Ending. Say go. it's a bunch of lands. We get a shadow that outgrows Bolt and Endurance here, so that's a plus. If they cast Endurance, I think I'm just drowning it. Okay, getting better. And I think we're just putting ourselves dead to second Bolt, saying if you got it, you got it. But this plays like a lot better into Solitude. Because if they're going to gain us back up to 13 anyway, that we might as well get as much damage as we can. Omnath, Locus of take 7. Yeah, I'm playing out the Gigantha. Hiya. Alright. Best case scenario would be what? That's a good start. Guess I am. What would they have not cast there? This is going to be kind of weird, but I'm going to lead on Polluted Delta. And this is because if they have Solitude Bolt, and they're planning on like Solitude Gigantha, Bolt the Shadow, then I want this fetch land out so I don't give them any sort of priority opportunity to do that. And Unholy Heat here gives me an answer to like any flash elemental that they try to get down to block with. So if they like Solitude, the Shadow, I can still Unholy Heat, get through Gigantha. Alright. Losing to burn and smoking elementals feels super weird. Like if ever there was a a matchup disparity, I would think, is backwards. That would be it. I need to feed the children. Can't be having negative leagues around here. Especially when we're trying to fund this new account. Oh, what do we got for round 5? Somewhere out there, there's an opponent that wants to play us. Where that opponent is, no idea. Queue times are terrible. Also, look at Menino, 10 trophies above the leaderboard. What does Alan 07 play? Alan 07. Everything. See, trophy with 5-color Archon, blue-red Murktide. Another blue-red, or no, that's blue-red Prowess. Because I know RVNG plays Living In, Menino plays Living In, Antoine plays 4-color Pile. Hayashi plays Cheese Fest. Okay. Assume take iteration, yep. That's a bunch of Mishra's baubles. So Blackcleave Close Inquisition could be just like a traditional Jund League. It could be black-red mid-range. So go to their turn, bottle their top card. Thoughtseize, sure. I'm gonna close out like all these pages on Ebon Death Draco Lich over here. Alright. So you get Thoughtseize the Terminate. Dothy Voidwalker. Sure. So we know they drew Thoughtseize and they got a Takenuma coming off the top. And they don't want to pass through my upkeep. Yep. It's a bunch of Croxes. Alright. So Blood Crypt. Heat the Dothy. Say go. See, it says they're triple queuing in a double Masters draft and double Masters sealed league, so hopefully they don't go too slow. Alright, here's a Croxa. Do with that information what you will. Then I believe I'm just going to play out the Polluted Delta and plan on fetching out a basic swamp. But obviously I'll save that decision as long as I can. I'm just thinking if they are playing Blood Moon in the main, I want the basic swamp. Alright. So let's go with the assumption that this last card they have is an answer to Croxa. Was not, but we're better for having found out. So I didn't want to escape the Croxa, have them answer it, and then me be not able to like escape another Croxa. And obviously we're kind of rewarded for that decision. Alright. So we're just going to scoop to the Kroxa. I'm probably fetching out like a tap shock land and then a basic swamp here. So, doubt I'm seeing those cards coming up afterwards. Alright, so I know I want K Command, Hearse. EE's okay. Board out some amount of the hand disruption. Maybe I just board out all the hand disruption. Call it a day. I don't mind that. On the draw, Ragavan. Yeah, I got the backup Ragavan in case they Thoughtseize turn 1. I'm on the draw, so I've got a couple looks to find a second land. Obviously, them playing a Ragavan's less ideal for me. Okay. That was a weird animation. Yep. That one would have been a really good one to get out from under Blood Moon with. Yeah, we'll take that. Dragon's Rage Channeler does a good job of helping play around like Liliana the Veil here. And the hope is just that, like, this is their game plan. Hearse plus Blood Moon, and that's it. I mean, I'm sure on the play you'd keep a hand of just, like, 2 or 3 lands, Hearse, Blood Moon, Ragavan. Like, assume that's going to be enough. Okay. Don't think there's a big reason to kill this end of turn, because if I happen to top deck a land, then I would be able to kill the Dothy. They fire up the hearse. I kill that too. Maybe I was supposed to just fire off that Unholy Heat pre-combat. But again, it kind of just looks to me like their game plan was Ragavan, Hearse, Blood Moon, and kind of hope after that. Well, scratch that. Alright, so it's going to blow up my treasure tokens anyway. So I guess we just take the K command, destroy the hearse, discard their last card. Another Ragavan would be nice. Basic Swamp would be nice. Alright, Hidetsugu. There it is. That's the point we tried to avoid. We just like start running bangers off the top. I think I want Drown on the play. My hearses don't look so exciting. So if they're running Blood Moon, there's a reasonable chance they're not running Kroxa. Easy keep. Lead on Ragavan off of the Steam Vent so I can save this Polluted Delta to potentially get basic Swamp. Yep. curse is A-okay with me. That is also A-okay with me. So I think I'm just gonna Spyro ditch. Drown Bobble. I think the bodies are more relevant. And do I just go ahead and Croxa? So we'll see what we're drawing into. So I do want to go ahead and get my basic swamp. So I think I am just going to go ahead and Croxa. Okay. Alright, iteration. Can you find me a fetch land? Can. So let's go Thoughtseize to hand, Shredder to the bottom, Scalding Tarn to exile. Lily Ragavan. So we're just gonna take Lily. Pass the turn. If they dash Ragavan, we Fatal Push. If they Lily, we Spell Pierce. Another red source. Pretty glad that they decided to throw that out now. Alright, so let's heat Ragavan. Attack in with Spyro, play our Shadow. next turn we can add Giganta. And we'll just pass here. Okay. They want to crew the hearse with this. Nope. Alright, so if I play out Giganta and they find a fetch land, they can escape the Kroxa and make me throw away my Fatal Push. That seems less than ideal. So I guess we're just passing. If they find a way to escape Kroxa, we ditch the mountain, grow the shadow, Fatal Push the Kroxa. Dolphy's fine. So, Fatal Push the hearse, take the vessel, go to 7, Shadow grows to a 6/6, +2 off the Spyro. If I find a fetch land, I win. So, no such luck. And now they've got a Fatal Push. Let's see what they're drawing into. Marsh Flats. I can take out either blocker, right? So I want to attack with both. Let's see. Attack with both. They untap, draw Marsh Flats. Escape Kroxa. I discard nothing. Go to 4. I can block the vessel. They can't Fatal Push off the Dolphy. I mean, they can Fatal Push, but they can't Fatal Push the Giganta. Alright, so now I don't go to 4. Are they Fatal Pushing? Oh no, play my Shadow. Sure. Where are all those expressive iterations in the deck? Alright, iteration, K command. Step 1. There we go. So K command to hand, whatever. Make sure there is nothing they can do. Turn Giganta 2 to you. Boom. Alright. 3 and 2. Kids are fed. They're not eating well, but they're not going hungry. What do we think? So we lost to Burn. Which, again, that match was like, hey, this game you have to have a Boros Charm. You had the Boros Charm. This game we're weak to Sanctifier on Vec. You had the Sanctifier. It happens. The other loss was to the Mardu Stoneblade deck, which again, we're never beating Lingering Souls in a million years. So I'm kind of okay losing to that one. So we're like 2 draw steps away from a 4-1. And even against the Lingering Souls deck, I guess we were pretty close if they didn't draw the Prismatic ending for our EE the turn we tapped off of it. So, not the worst showing in the world. What cards performed well, what didn't? In the main, everything's pretty straightforward. Like, I still, league after league after league, don't like Ledger Shredder. Because it's really, really clunky in multiples. It doesn't play well off expressive iteration. It's like those games that you're on the play and you're able to go turn 1 Ragavan, turn 2 Shredder plus Bobble are great. Like if you have that nut start of turn 1 Ragavan, turn 2 Shredder, Bobble, Ditch, Kroxa, then it feels like the deck can't lose. But if you don't have that start, then Ledger Shredder looks pretty awful. Like, we had a number of games where our opening hand was just like Unholy Heat, Drown in the Lock, Shredder, Iteration, 3 lands or something. And Shredder looks bad in those games. So, still not sold on it.